What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Taylor moved out, Thomas assaulted Brooke, and Luna is pregnant. On this week's episode of the Bold and the Beautiful, Thomas became enraged upon learning that Brooke and Ridge were already married. Before Ridge stormed into the design room and shoved his kid away from her, he took Brooke by the shoulders and gave her a good shakedown. When Thomas insisted on answers, Ridge told him to mature. Ridge mentioned that Brooke made him happy and advised Thomas to place the responsibility on him rather than her. Thomas reluctantly approved of them. Eric hurried to Taylor's guest house in the meantime to inform her that Brooke and Ridge had already tied the knot. She moved out after telling Eric to stop feigning to be her friend. Elektra dreamed about Will and her incredibly faithful and trustworthy lover during the week. She crafted a necklace for him that featured their initials, We. Will informed his parents that Luna was still alive and had attacked him when he was intoxicated. To locate her, they proceeded to Lee's. Luna wanted Remy to take care of her while she took another pregnancy test, so she was downstairs. When Deke, Remy's boyfriend, returned home and saw who had murdered his house, he told Remy to throw her out, which he did. When Luna returned to Lee's flat, the Spencers and her grandmother aunt were there. Lee was among those that attacked her, attempting to strangle her to death. Luna revealed she was expecting Will's child during the chaos when her pregnancy test dropped out of her purse. When Bill forced Luna to take another test at his place, the results were likewise positive. He advised that she have an abortion. Will and Katie moaned about the state of affairs. That night, Will made the decision to be honest with Elektra and began doing so. Lee found out that Sheila was aware of what Luna had done to Will on the night of the party when he went to her to explain the problem with Luna. Sheila informed Lee that since Bill would not want his grandson born in prison, having a Spencer baby would be like having a get-out-of-jail-free card. Brooke is attacked by Thomas. We were aware that Thomas would attack Brooke. He yelled so loudly that he even touched her. Ridge, of course, arrived just in time to prevent things from getting worse. However, we believe that because Thomas lacks emotional self-control, things will get worse. Is Luna expecting? A positive pregnancy test could have saved Luna's life. They have a number of issues to resolve now that Bill, Katie, and Lee have all learned that Luna exploited Will. When the pregnancy test dropped out of her purse in front of everyone in the room, they all wanted her locked up right away. Bill insists that Luna have an abortion. Bill brought Luna out and back to his house after they had a conversation in the apartment where Lee kept her. Luna tried to convince him that she was carrying his grandson, but he insisted on answers. Not surprisingly, considering the situation, Bill made her take multiple tests. The most unexpected thing, though, was Bill's suggestion that Luna get an abortion. The direction of this plot and whether Luna is the only female on B&B that will become pregnant will be intriguing to watch. Elektra will experience heartbreak. Elektra has been praising Will to everyone who will listen during the week on B&B. She told Hope and Eric all about him. Elektra expressed her trust in him and her belief that he is the one. She made Will a piece of jewelry to symbolize their love as part of her plans for another special evening. The Bold and the Beautiful's episodes this week were a tornado of treachery, heartache, violence, and shocking revelations that rocked the show to its foundation. Taylor Hayes left after Ridge Forrester once again picked Brooke Logan, Thomas Forrester lost his temper and attacked Brooke in a dangerous fit of rage, and Luna Nozawa dropped the ultimate bombshell. She is expecting Will Spencer's child. This revelation not only shocked the Spencer family but also started a series of betrayals, arguments, and somber family arguments that will reverberate throughout Los Angeles. Beginning with the fallout from Ridge and Brooke's hasty remarriage, which caught Taylor off guard, she had assumed, perhaps naively, that Ridge's promises of a life together meant more than just words. However, when Eric Forrester hurried over to the guest house to tell her that Ridge and Brooke had already married in secret, Taylor's world fell apart, forcing her to pack up her belongings, fume with embarrassment, and finally admit to herself that she was once again Ridge's second choice. As she left in defeat, she yelled at Eric, telling him to stop acting like he was her friend when, in reality, he had always sided with Brooke. As a result, Taylor's suffering became the first thread in this week's unraveling tapestry of destruction. Meanwhile, in the Forrester design office, Thomas confronted Brooke in a way that horrified viewers because his inability to control his emotions escalated into violence, grabbing her by the shoulders, shaking her, and screamed in her face, demanding answers about why she had once again tricked his father into picking her. Brooke tried to calm him, But her fear was evident as his anger became more uncontrollable. If Ridge hadn't come in at that precise moment, pushing Thomas away from Brooke and telling him to back down, things might have gotten even worse. Ridge's words to his son, "Blame me, not her," were intended to defuse the situation, but they only served to highlight Thomas's instability because, even though he nodded reluctantly and seemed to accept his father's decision, his war with Brooke is far from over. And the threat of his violent tendencies is still a ticking time bomb that could blow up again. However, even as the Forresters were reeling from this attack, the Spencers were involved in their own scandal when Will told his parents, Bill and Katie, that Luna was not dead as previously thought but was still alive and that she had attacked him while he was drunk at a party. This revelation led the Spencer clan directly to Lee Finnegan's apartment, where Luna was hiding out and pleading with Remy for assistance. However, Deke, Remy's boyfriend, threw Luna out because he didn't want to harbor a fugitive. And she entered a whirlpool when she eventually made it back to Lee's apartment, where Bill, Katie, Lee, and Will all yelled at her. The argument abruptly shifted from punishment to impossible questions about family legacy, scandal, and whether a baby could change everything. Lee even went so far as to lunge at Luna and attempt to strangle her, accusing her of destroying everything and proving she was no better than her reckless mother Poppy. Just when it seemed like Luna might be choked into silence forever, her purse spilled onto the floor and a pregnancy test fell out, a positive result that froze everyone in the room and turned their outrage into horrified disbelief action. Dragged Luna out of the apartment and back to his mansion, demanding more evidence. She was forced to take another test, which confirmed the nightmare once more. In a move that shocked even longtime admirers of Bill Spencer's brutal methods, he icily suggested that Luna have an abortion because he thought it was the only way to keep his son from being chained to a woman he hated. He told her that if she truly loved Will, she would terminate the pregnancy. This was a chilling ultimatum that left Luna reeling, divided between her desire to prove herself through the child she now carried and her fear of losing any chance at acceptance from the Spencer clan. Katie consoled her shell-shocked son, who dreaded the inevitable conversation with Electra Forrester, the young woman who loved and trusted him and had just spent the week telling Hope Logan how faithful and devoted Will was. They even made a necklace with their initials, "We," as a symbol of their unbreakable bond, blissfully unaware that the man she saw as her future had betrayed her, albeit under dubious circumstances, and impregnated another woman, a betrayal that will destroy her once she finds out. Meanwhile, as Electra sighed dreamily about Will in the design office, raving about how safe and secure she felt in his arms, Hope reassured her that she and Will were perfect together. All the while, Will struggled with the crushing weight of his secret, finally deciding that he could not put it off any longer and had to confess to Electra before the truth destroyed them both. The drama expanded when Lee, furious and disgusted with her niece, confronted Sheila Carter, who coolly revealed that she had already known about Luna's assault on Will and that far from condemning it, she believed it could be Luna's salvation, arguing that Bill would never want his grandchild born in prison and that carrying a Spencer baby could act as Luna's get-out-of-jail-free card, planting the idea that this pregnancy was less a curse and more a twisted lifeline, though Lee saw it only as further evidence of Sheila's corruption, and yet even she could not deny that the arrival of a Spencer heir would complicate the legal system's treatment of Luna, leaving the audience stunned at the moral ambiguity now hanging over every character's choices. So as Taylor packed her final boxes, as Thomas seethed with unspent rage, as Brooke trembled from her son-in-law's assault, as Bill calculated the future of his dynasty, as Katie feared for her son's heart, as Electra unknowingly celebrated a love already betrayed. The week ended with the unmistakable sense that these characters' lives are headed for catastrophic collisions, as Lee struggled with her conscience and Luna clutched her stomach in both defiance and dread. This is because Taylor's departure leaves her open to new entanglements, Thomas's violence foreshadows danger, and Luna's pregnancy threatens to blow up Will and Electra's romance and challenges the unity of the entire Spencer family. The fallout from these revelations will not only dominate the weeks ahead, but could redefine alliances, rivalries, and destinies for years to come. This is further evidence that in the twisted, passionate world of the bold and the beautiful, the past is never buried, the future is always fraught, and it only takes one shocking week to turn love into war, loyalty into betrayal, and hope into heartbreak.